everyone. You're welcome once again to our YouTube channel. We want to really appreciate those that have been here with us as subscribers and those that are here for the first time. If you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button because we have lots and lots of exciting conversations that are going around in this channel. Today with me is Engineer Chisom Joko, and he's going to be doing justice to a very important and timely topic as it concerns celebration, the festive period, and how to spend. Yes, I believe you've all seen the video where we talked about financial spending, savings, and all of that. And this topic today is going to be doing justice to the aspect of knowing how to spend in the festive period. We know this is December, Christmas, and then we're going to the New Year as well. So we need to know the importance of learning how to spend, learning how to save, and all its entirety. So with me is Chisom Njoko. He's an engineer, a data marketer par excellence. I'll be doing justice to this amazing topic. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. So like I said, we'll be doing a topic in the area of spending in the festive period. And then, like I said, our guest speaker is here to do justice to this topic. So we'll start by knowing more about our guest speaker and what he does.
People, I'm Chisom Njoko. I'm an engineer, electrical electronic engineer. I specialize in master's level in information communication technology. I'm a digital marketer. I help businesses come up with strategies to improve their sales and visibility. And not just that, so I help businesses optimize. I call it bootstrapping. So I ensure businesses don't have to buy a full car when they need to just get a glass of milk. So that's the kind of line I get. So I think that just be it. And the husband of one wife. Father.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. One of the things that caught my attention when he was introducing himself is the aspect where he said he can teach businesses on how to get a glass of milk instead of buying a full car. So that actually means he's the best person for this conversation. So, like I said, we'll be talking about spending in the festive period, and I would love us guest speaker to give us more highlights about what it means to spend and to save in the festive period.
Perfect. When people say festive period, I say, one of the things about me, I can be very blunt. Everywhere that I have videos, I'll be very blunt about it. Like, who said the rules? Yeah, Christmas is like any other day, 25th is like any other day, 31st is like any other day, first is like any other day. Now, the reason is this sometimes you need to go back and ask yourself logically, why are we even doing the things? I'll tell you because of doing things. While I'm always sometimes going against the normal, because some things we do are just bandwagon effect. Now you see a couple of guys work hard from January to November to December, only to blow it in just 2 weeks, and start the merry-go-round again the next year. So it's not a wise thing to do. So talking about spending, we must spend. We are human beings. Money is to be spent. Yeah, you are here because you spent something. Either the cost of coming here, transportation was spent, something you must spend. So you can't run away from spending. But one thing that your spending should be guided. I'm spending for this. So that comes to where budgeting comes into play. You have to budget the spending. Except your supply, your income is infinite. You don't need a budget. But if you're having an income, you should budget your expenses too. You should have some level of control. Like, I'll tell myself, look, this is the budget I have for this December. Even if heavens should fall, I'm not going to step into it because the next cash is supposed to be used for something else. So if I'm pulling it from here to there, what's going to substitute this one? I don't plan with what I don't have. I plan with the one I'm seeing. The bed in your seeing is much more than 1 million they promised you in the bush. So you budget the planning. Okay, I'm going to go home. I'll see these people. This is what I have. Charity too. You budget for it. People are going through a lot. This is a time to help people during this festive period, so people can smile also. So it goes down to budgeting. You have to budget it. You're not working the whole year to blow it in few weeks, no. But you're just budgeting your expenses one way or the other to make sure that after December and January 1st, you're not having a hard time. I see many people complain that January is a hard year. I don't know why. You understand?
Say it's
You
long.
know, yeah, it's long. Reason because you've blown everything,
Yeah.
in the December period. Yeah, fine. But I think it should be January should be like any other. In fact, it should be a very good month because I enjoy January because you have a lot of distress. Then in the village, then those that have blown their money will sell their watch to us, sell their phones to us at some cheap prices. So so just plan. So that's the beautiful thing. Just plan. When you plan, people think budgeting is old school. Sometimes when you budget, they say, you're stingy, you're old school. No, budgeting is one of the ways that makes you not to be financially stranded. So I think sometimes it's just good to take stock. Why are we even doing what we are doing? So I feel the Christmas time is just the down part of the year. That's where a lot of us will be having annual leave. That's the only time of the year where you can have 2 weeks off most times. To get to family. To me, this is a beautiful side of it. Going from when I was still young, it was a beautiful time because all my cousins, and if I come from a big family, so all my cousins will see it as a time to come together. So that fellowship, keeps us stronger as a family. So I always look forward to that time. It's not the spending spree that makes it interesting. It's like my cousin in Abuja, I'm going to see him. That's in Lagos, I'm going to see him. I'm going to mix up with the area. So we'll keep moving from place to place. So that's the fun, one side. People think budgeting is old school, but it's not. There are statutory expenses will happen. So away from the frenzy season, you know that if you're going to pay school fees, like parents, you must pay school fees January. You know that universities too, the sessions for most schools start that beginning of the year, isn't it? You must pay it. Rent will be paid at that time. Some people rent is paid January and other things. So one of the good way or perfect way to the essence of budgeting is to avoid being financially stranded. I can say for years now I've never been financially stranded. Not because I have too much. I plan within what is given to me. Just before I was talking to some of my younger ones, and I told them I know how much I was earning at the time. I'll put it on Excel. I develop a tracker. I'll put it on Excel. Right, you can program it so all my expenses are just minus. I'm seeing it up there. So if the budget for phone call is like 200 naira for that week, if I finish it on Wednesday, I'm done for calls. So that's how frugal I am, when it comes to this. So when you're frugal like that and your friends know you're frugal too, so there are some temptations they'll not bring near you. They'll say, in fact, that time school, they'll say, no, don't bring it close to him because he will not even come across. I'm someone that will weigh it and say, is this thing really needful? I'm someone that can look at this thing. Do I even need this thing? I don't need it. I pass. If you like, let the whole earth come and say, pressure me. The worst comes to the worst. If you call me too much, I'll not pick your call. I'll off my phone. That's the thing. You can't steal my own joy because when I finish enjoying, then I'll not go back home and be regretting. I remember some situations. I know when these things happen, I know how many times I'm going through this kind of frenzy spending. The pitiful part. You won't get the debit that time. It's not I'm going home. That's the debit was not really like this. Oh wow, what kind of play is this? So you know, but when you know your statutory expenses, you can't run away from food, healthcare, and your fees, your personal development, giving, to your parents. There should be something statutory you give, not too much. If you have siblings, too, you owe them that duty of care. We're not saying give them the whole world, but that duty of care, like this is what you have. Then people around you too. There's no, austerity, charity. You have a budget for it that every month this is what I'm going to give. One useful thing is pay your bills forward. Rent is always ready. Like my rent is always ready before time. It's there, cooling. All those statutory things is there, cooling in one place. You know what that gives you? It makes your mind very stable. It makes you not to be desperate. Most time when people are desperate, they just want to make money, it's because their needs, they leave their needs and focus on their wants. So they are carried away, the latest shoe must be bought, the latest clothes must be bought. Like, how would you just stoop so low that it's people that will control your own? I don't know how, that's the way I see it, though, that so it means I'm this weak, that it's people that will control my perception, that control my spending, that will tell me what to spend on. No. I should have a say in my own affairs. So this helps. You have to have a say on your affairs. So you budget, pay your bills forward. Like security bills, you know it must be paid. Let's say 1,000, 2,000 per month. If you have 24,000 in a year, pay it and have the peace of mind. Then when you have extra, it's not for you to spend. It's not for you to spend everything. Go back to your savings too. Your savings is your fallback plan. Look, there are many opportunities that come. You miss out because you don't have savings. I've enjoyed a lot of these stress sales. Not one, not two. Some problems come and they just need someone who has the cash at hand. So the person who can pluck it enjoys that offer. So sometimes you don't just get carried away with this period. Look at your basic needs. Look, sometimes I just look back and say, what do I actually need? I was sitting down, like, what is it that man actually needs? Like, if you come down to look at it, what do you need? Shelter. It boils down to the three basic things: food, shelter, and clothing. So now, as you get bigger, the magnitude increases. You understand? For example, what you need to eat. If you have 500 naira, you can get a plate of food. Let's say your income increases, 1,500 naira for that plate. Maybe the meat increases, something increases, but you still have a plate of food that satisfied you. So what increases the magnitude that just increases with time. So it's a slow walk into the next level. It's not like trying to break the glass. No. So when you take it that way, shelter too, you have the basic. As income increases, you can move a bit to the next level. Same thing with clothing too. The basic clothes are not too expensive, except you want to go out there to the biggest brand. If you don't have the money to do that, don't struggle to impress people. Then too, don't struggle to impress people. In fact, the people we are trying to impress don't care.
Yeah.
There are many problems in this world. I know we have many problems. In fact, if we don't care about you, there's Bobrisky. There's many stories out there. So if you think people are thinking about you, it's a lie. So I always tell myself this thing: if you think you've done something that people will, kind of, mock you, I'll say the mockery highest will pass. It's more than 1 week. After all, other events will take over the whole thing. But I've gotten what I want to achieve. So don't be carried away by this pressure. It's not for you. Own yourself. Get to that stage where you own yourself. You own your thinking. You own what you can do. I'll give you a good example. When I wanted to get married, people are coming with all the plans. I say, wow, perfect idea. As a break, we need to do this one. I say, no problem. Let's do this one. I don't say no. Just bring it to the table. So there was one couple, I love, one of my friends like that. They did one classic low-key wedding that I love. I say, you see this type, I'll go. I went like this in the night. I went to his house. I say, you see that your pattern? Just download that formula for me. He told me how he cut cost here, how I did this here. I say, perfect. My other friends are married because most times I'll be custodian. So I know I have an idea of the major things that makes the marriage work. I know the other ones that even if it doesn't happen, it's left for them. For food, everybody will know. I've not seen any event where people fed those people. I've never seen it. Food must always be short. So mine is the caterer. These are my friends. These are my key colleagues at work. This is my family. All these ones have eaten. You understand? Any other person that's not eating, no problem. You can complain that's tomorrow, but that doesn't mean because I have a number of plates that I must provide for. So in fact, I reduced it at one level. I had to just increase. I say, well, this once in a lifetime thing. Let me just increase it. All of that things that people are saying, I say, no, this one is not necessary. Heavens will not fall, even if I don't do it. And heaven will fall. And the essence is that, many people finish wedding and they are cash strapped. I think around and I'll still very, very buoyant to do other things because, I mean, who cares? Who cares? So even if you do the biggest event, nobody cares. Don't forget about it the next 2 weeks. Another show will come up and people will be talking about it and forget it. So that is it. The number one rule for being financially prudent is don't be carried away by peer pressure. Never. Like me, there's one thing, you know, I don't spend anyhow. So because I'm a social guy, most friends will want to call me, so let's go out and get this thing. I'll say, you know me now, I won't that thing you're saying, I'm not going to spend more than this there. Say no, just follow. We'll take care of this one. I say, it's because you take care of it, that's why I'm following you. If I'm not going to do it, when I'm ready, I'll do it. So have full self-control. I mean, you're a human being, an adult. So that means you should have control over yourself. And when you have control over yourself, it extends to what you spend. Then be conscious, be frugal, have to know your weakness. Sometimes if you're a very emotional person, sometimes I could be very emotional, especially for those who I love. You come to me and tell me some things, I can just break down and do it. But I now have to work against my emotion. When I see that people want to take that aspect of me, I become tough on the outside. So instead of going to that place, I know that there's no way I will go to this place. Virtue will not leave me. I won't go there. So you just know yourself, avoid those bottle traps of spending. Holidays will come and go. If your they say we live up to 70, that's the basic, then you live more than that. Minus your age from 70, so you know the number of Christmases and New Years you have to spend. So it's not this one you kill yourself for. You understand? So be frugal, that's what I'll tell you, be frugal. But there's a difference between liberal. You can be liberal, but you're frugal. You're very liberal. That means you're charitable, but you don't waste. People think wasting money is being liberal. No, it's the other way around. In fact, people who are prudent have enough to give better than those who are not. Some people just give for their ego. They want to show that they've given. But there are people who give without hearing. Like frugal people give more. You know why? When they give, they don't want people to know they give because they don't want to have an army of people coming back to them. But when you're prudent, you have enough to give. You have enough to give to your parents. You have better to give to your siblings. You have better to share in your various places of worship to, advance the cause of God's kingdom. So I think financial prudence does not mean being frugal financially. Does not mean you're stingy. It just means that I can account for every one kobo that leaves my account. Oh, this one went here, this one went here. Even when there's miscellaneous, it's accounted for. There are some money that it has to fall out. You can't hold everything. It's still accounted for. So that's just how to overcome the friendly period. Nothing is new. 25th is like any other day. So that's why even when people do New Year resolution, I said no. It's just another day like a job. So come off it. Let nobody pressure you. Thank you.
Wow, it has been an exciting conversation. We have so many nuggets, and I believe our viewers are already taking note of the massive and intense value that is coming up in this conversation. Talking about being financially prudent, I know it's one thing that so many persons struggle with. You made mention of you not needing to peer pressure, trying to show up, and all of that. And then from your experience, I believe you've been able to build yourself to that point where nobody can pressure you to spend beyond your budget. There's one question. How were you able to get to that point where you could handle your finances and then not feel pressured to spend?
Okay, simple. I think I don't know how to beg. That's the number one thing. Like even while I was young, asking my parents for money. I already asked it before the mirror. Daddy, please give me money for this. Especially when he has given me and I need to get some extra, I have to react at the middle. Daddy, please give me money for this. And having parents too who are very prudent too enabled me to have it. So I just know that there are some friends I couldn't keep going by the kind of lifestyle. I tell people, don't follow people. Choose your own lifestyle. Then those that have that same lifestyle too will come to you. But the mistake people make is that they allow others determine their own lifestyle. So me, I say, be your own self. Those people that like you for who you are. So far as you're not hurting anybody, so far as you're not stepping on, you're not, trying to, you're not being, how do I put it? You're not having a hurting behavior. Just be yourself. People will identify with you the way you are, and those are your like mind. So, how was it? I don't know how to beg. So the only way to come about, like I said, I hate being financially stranded when I have to start begging, sending those messages that even when you're sending it, you feel. I don't know how I'll beg you and I'll still have that face to look at you. I'll say, God, I just hope, I don't have that kind of face. So, and when you're that kind of person too, people people don't really, they don't like in quote see you finish. You understand? Because even when you have very well-to-do friends, well-to-do uncles and aunties, they know that this one will never beg for a kobo. So they give you that respect anytime they see you around them. So I don't know how to beg. So what's the way out? The little one, the talent I have, how to manage it properly. So growing that culture is an inbuilt in savings. Our parents brought us to learn how to save. We used to have our saving box. We learned how to save. Like I can tell you, we learned how to save from a tender age. Like in my SS2, I bought my first phone, which was from my savings.
Wow.
Then back then, that was 2006. In my final year in the secondary school, using side hustles, I already had savings. When I came into the university, my savings was what was keeping me floating. And not just that, even in my year one, year two, I always have savings. I'm not this one that spends everything. I always want to fall back to my savings. So, and I always, why I fall back to savings, I say, I say, what if anything happens? Do I have to tell the whole world about my problem? No. I just go back to my savings. So that's really helped me. So my parents helped me, and the people around me, they are good savers. So when you're good with your financial lifestyle, you see that you'll be achieving more with little. And sometimes when people see you and see one or two things, they'll be wondering how do you get it done? That's why your colleagues. But they don't know that those 1,000 you spend, 2,000 you throw away. Sometimes I look at the compound effect. It can do one or two things. So that's growing up that way, learning how to save really helped me. And that perception of who am I going to beg? Who am I going to go back to? Also helped me to make sure that I save. Then it also guided the kind of friends I kept. I classify friends, like I say, I have a lot of friends, so I have different classifications. There are friends that for business. Their friends who are on the church side. You can talk everything about kingdom and ministry, but I'll not tell them anything about business. It's classified. I have friends too who know the happening things that are happening. If I want to know the latest in politics, now I have the ones I'll call. They know the latest happening in town. We can gist for that moment. So you classify friends. Then those of your friends that are poor financially. What I mean, their financial habits are very poor. So you need how you get to interact with them on financial levels. Someone who has a very bad financial habit, I can't go to shop with that person. He will throw caution into the wind. People say it like, hey, how much is it? Like me, typical me. How much is this? And I'm not just the one who put it in the cart. How much is it? Okay, put it. How much is this? Put it. But you're someone who just feels, I remember then as I was like, I had a friend that was like that. You can His own was, I think, shoes. He can spend his last dime on shoe. I remember then in Chuba, you just go to, I know the, I still have it in my brain, we just go. So typically, I've talked to him severally, but he just like me because I'll be his hype man. I see his shoes, I'll say, well, his shoe, so his shoe is sharp. It's cool, but to me, I know he's not really do. I've talked to him, but he's not into change. So that kind of person, like, you just know that this person is not going to really, really do well, because it's a habit. As you grow older, you keep behaving that way, So it's not a good habit to live that kind of life. So, but this is just exactly how I was able to overcome that. Wisdom is the principal thing. That's the one thing I noticed. At some certain level, I'll not lie to you, for like 2, 3 years now, I've not prayed about money. I just pray for wisdom. With wisdom, you will get a lot of things money cannot buy. So, yeah, and one of the things that he that is wise must work with the wise. And sometimes people ask me, I just remembering your question now, how I was able to avoid that pressure. Right from when I was small, my friends will tell you that I don't, in fact, I don't have friends of my age bracket. Most of my friends are those senior to me. In fact, I feel unsafe when I'm the brightest in the class, or I'm the biggest in the place. Do you understand? I feel this, I think I should go to somewhere new or better. Now, let me just give you a good example because of how I associate with higher people. So, remember then, even in children's church, other people will be asking questions like, how do I get chingo? I brought chingo, those funny, funny children questions. How do I do my restitution? I remember I asked one question one time that, is it bad if a Christian becomes the governor of the state or the president? I just said, why? Because I said, so that they can control the resources like the money. So people looked at me and said, at this age. So what I would say is that I work with people who are bigger than me. So when they sit to discuss, unlike my mates then in university that are discussing, oh boy, this latest party never reached. This one here, oh sorry, I'm calling a brand. This latest party here, you need to be here. I'm in meeting maybe with my uncle or somewhere that are talking of, there's this new properties that are coming up. This new town is coming up. We are calling our friends to come and buy this cooperative because 5 years from now, this price is triple. So all my mind is investment, properties, investment. So you see, instead of blowing money, I'm saying now it's not like competition, but emulating. You know that you may not take, if they take 5 steps, you cannot take 5 steps. But if you take one, you are better than your weight behind. So it's got, I mean, even Paul said it now. I say I convert the good gifts. They are good, the excellent gifts. I mean, then there's this other thing too, which I say there's neither Jew nor Greek. The same God is rich to all, as called in his name. So when you associate with people who are successful, who have the kind of habits you want, it rubs off on you little by little. You don't have to be too close to them, but just observing their lives, you will, you begin to have that same mindset. It starts from the mind. I was thinking, I was doing until I listened to Bishop David Oyedepo. Is one of the persons I respect when they come to finance. He says this church runs on a budget. We don't stress our members because we're on a budget. And I've seen it that if you're on a budget, you won't stress people. You won't stress people at all. You won't stress yourself. So you need wisdom to get this thing done. So sometimes you just need to ask God for the wisdom. Sometimes it takes wisdom. Like I just believe that every problem has a wisdom solution. Some problems you think are tough, they are not tough. Go back and sit down and think. Go down and sit down and think. You will now find out that if I had just said it this way, it would have come out better. If I had done A instead of doing B, this problem would have come in the first place. So most times when things happen, step back for it. Like I say, liberate yourself from your emotional shackles. Many times when things happen, you have this tendency to be emotional, be silent, delay the response. This is the thing. One of the, characteristics of human beings is irritability. That means our ability to respond to stimulus. When something happens, you have to go in to respond. If mosquito touches you now, it's just, your subconscious, you're going to tap it, right? But what happens now in taking decisions, reduce the response time. When something has happened, don't just act. Let that small gap comes in. Emotions will give way, then logic will come into play. So, but it's very hard though. But if you train yourself, you do very, very well. So the emotions come, even with spending. A lot of spending are emotional buying. Buy this thing is coming now. This Black Friday for black what? There's nothing black. That price you buy it normal. You step back and say, do I really need this thing? What is the purpose? I've seen all the top guys are utilitarians. What do you mean? That they look at the utility value of what they are buying. Then when they buy luxury, don't run away from luxury. Luxury is good. You need to have luxury because I mean, what are we working for in the first place? I don't carry anybody anywhere. But luxury is not bought with your hard-earned sweat. No, luxury is bought with, well, I call it careless money. The droplets of investment that have been made over time that looks like free money. That's what you use to buy luxury. You shouldn't buy luxury and be regretting tomorrow. You understand the point. So luxury is bought by droplets of so many passive incomes you had, or sometimes gifts given. Let me just throw this one after I did budget, so let you just go there. So that's one thing. Then two, transfer your income. Like I said, these basic ones you spend. Look at your income. I tie. In fact, if you look at budgeting is about tying your income to expenditure. That's why if you study budgeting well, we say we did this because we know. Look at Nigerian budget. We are looking at the benchmark of selling crude at $48 per barrel. We are going to sell so amount. The next one is IGR is going to give us this amount. So what does it mean? As you are pushing to fund the budget, you are pushing to drive the revenue. So what I now do is to tie the basic expenditures with some current revenues. There's some revenues that will come, those small ones. I tie it. Oh, fuel is going to be tied to this revenue. This one is going to be tied to this revenue. This one is going to be tied to this revenue. What happens? There's no lose money. So anytime you have what to call a windfall, like a big job, one problem, I know I'm in business, so one problem most businessmen have is that maybe you used to make one naira today. Tomorrow you just had a breakthrough, you made like 10 naira. Your mind will not make you know that it was one naira earning, but you not start believing as if that's 10 naira going to be earning. So what happens when that 10 naira starts coming? To fall back to that one naira lifestyle becomes very hard. But for a wise person, when 10 naira comes, oh boy, I belong to one naira. This one is just something big that happened. So I take that 9 naira off, throw it into something else to invest. So that way, when you match your small income to other smaller revenues, you tie your income. So what happens once any big money comes, straight to investment. So that's the secret to doing anything big, straight to investment. So I know, okay, fuel money is coming from this source, food is tied to this one, this is tied to this one. So if there, by any reason, we are business people, so there is no limit to which God can bless us. So you come and something big comes. I won't forget to that is, I'm that level. I'll say, this one is good. I must find something that I will see with my eyes that this money has gone to. That money must work for me, and I keep it. And pretend again I'm back to that level. So lifestyle does not increase with that floating income. No, it moves. So that's one aspect to young child should look into. Then by all means, read books. I read a lot of financial books. I read a lot. People think of reading, think reading is to have brag rights. A lot of people read to have brag rights. No. When I read books like the way you read Bible. If there's what you're looking for, you go forward to look for it and read it. When you read financial books, why we want you to be rich, you now understand why people are really poor. And you find out that the mindset of the poor is basic. I was talking to some people, like I said, part of working with the wise people makes you wise. You see them, the typical young person, you've done this, relax now. What else are you pushing for? But you see the successful people, are they resting? They are not. Now, when I looked at them and one was telling me that he's done with himself now, that now he wants to think of retirement, that I mean, he doesn't want to be a burden to his children. In fact, he wants to be that. Most times parents, children get tired of parents who are financially, especially now that things are very tight. A lot of people are struggling today because parents took bad financial decisions when they were younger. So today they are carrying their own burden, carrying their own. And there's a part of the Bible that says it is good for a man to bear his yoke in his youth. This is the time you can take risks. The kind of risks I've taken, in fact, the risks I took 5 years ago, I don't think I can take it now that I'm my age child. Because if I want to take that risk, I will look left, look right again. But at that time, I can take the risks because what will happen? Since I'm not living a loud lifestyle, nobody knows if I'm having the last 1K in the house. Most times when you feel bad is when you made yourself a celebrity. That's you made yourself a celebrity. So it might even affect, like, gosh, when I'm, from here, then I can just walk into that woman selling plantain there and buy 200 naira plantain, give me yam. But there's some people that can't do that because of the celebrity lifestyle they've attained by their own making. Not everybody's making. So you take risks when you're young. So there are some investments I could just throw away. There are some investments then I'll just throw everything. And for God and man, what I have in my account is 5,000 naira. But I know, well, I'm a hustler, I will make more money. But I could push it. But can I take that kind of risk now? I cannot. I'll take 3 steps from that. So coming back again. So when you talk with really successful people, what they will tell me that I don't want to stress my children. I want to be a level where my child wants to start a business, possibly he needs 50 million. I can say, okay, take 10 million, pay me back after 2 years. That's the kind of parents people are wishing for. Not the one that when my children see my call, oh, who's that? It's not just last week I sent money. That kind of life. So you see, the thinking of the rich and the poor are far, they are very different. And so you see the way they work towards getting assets. Assets make you money. No matter how rough it looks, it makes you money. But liabilities, no matter how shiny they are, that you spend money to maintain them. You understand? So you find out that when you associate with people who are successful, the way they think is different. The way they think about money, the way they think about association, the way they think about networking. Like lately, I now had a perfect idea of what networking is. It's about value. When you get to the rich, money is not the problem. It's about they exchange favors. Favor is the currency of the rich. These guys, let's say for an example, you own this estate. Another of your friend is into power. Guy, I'm going to put my power plant here. As the people pay the bills, more people will come to your estate. The listing of your properties here, of course, will be high. Me too, as people are coming more, we'll be paying more bills for power. See, it's not really money that is exchanging, it's about value. Oh, yeah, it's true. I'm going to get more people coming here and power, so I'm going to get more money from it too. It's just favor. Some things you pray and fast for are things that are gotten on the platter of gold if you have the right network. Who are the people okay, for example, what do you pray for now for a passport or a visa? If you have somebody who is in Nigerian immigration service, let's say in the top cadre, will you pray for that kind of, will you pray for a visa? Just to call you, hey, my friend, how are you? How are you doing? Please, I'm having so thing. My son needs to travel out of the country tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Just tell him to come tomorrow for capture. No problem. Let him come in 2 weeks' time. Everything will be ready. He has skipped it. Then another favor may come. Maybe you are in the banking sector. So, cash no deal, but I'll need like 500K to go home. My friend, come. He gets you cash. Isn't it? So it's about sharing favor. The exchange of value is what creates the networking of the rich. So it's not just money, it's just value that they create. So it's about returning one favor for another, returning one favor for for another. That's how they get bigger. The rich people, you see, that's how they get bigger. Nothing. That's how they just get bigger. They just come and let's say, and let's just. I'm here. My son now, let's say, starts a business and possibly, let's say, a software business. I have friends who are in government. My friend just finished from Harvard. Is just floated a small software business. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let him come and automate this area of our business. Before you know, they've set up a software for it. Your son is going there. And the rendezvous is that my son, is still coming up. Let him come there for internship. You see the way it works, the exchange of favor, Yediba, favor exchanges, and so that's I think that's just a step out. So working with people who are, financially prudent, financially smart, financially intelligent, will help you. It will help you. So sometimes you may not get too close to them because of course they are very picky. People who are successful are picky with their association because they poor people commoditize knowledge. They commoditize it a lot, you know. But the rich know the power of information. They know how powerful it is. So the only way you can get to your circle is through value. So if you can give them the value expressly, books are there. Their audio books are there. On YouTube is plenty. If you go there, plenty. There are many trackers free of charge you can get, financial trackers and all that. But sometimes that discipline, that discipline is what you need to have, So that's just it. So work with people who are really, really financially wise. Stay away from people who are financially, lousy. That's one way you increase your financial acumen. Then have goals. Say this year, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to achieve. This is what, like I said, take it back to government. When government does budget, they do budget for capital and recurrent expenditure. Capital expenditure means infrastructural growth. That means there must be some assets that must be built or bought with that. Recurrent is the salaries, that's those ones. So you too, you should have capital and recurrent expenditures. The recurrent expenditure like food, shelter, all those ones that come and go. Recurrent means it's going. You're not going to see it again. The capital means an asset you're building. So have this say, I'll buy this asset. This say, I've been using this small computer, so I've not been able to get the kind of result I have. If I buy a bigger computer, instead of editing 5 videos a week and I can edit 10 a week, you invest in it. Okay, I'm tired of running it alone. I want to start building a team around what I'm doing. You invest in it. Thank God for technology now. You don't need the team all in one place. Sometimes there are many projects I've managed that I just sit in my small corner and I'm talking to somebody in Rhodesia, talking to somebody in Akure, and all of us, we are just united with one tracker. We are seeing all our work in one dashboard. You understand? So you invest on it. Sometimes you look at, I want to even yourself. You can invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Like this year, all I did was I said, I want to really be in the company of these high flyers. I want to see how they think, how they reason, and all that. I bought my way into that space. I'm telling you, it's been a mind blowing experience because one of these that's talk for another day. One of the major things you will notice from the really successful people is that when it comes to emotions, they know how to bottle their emotions. They know how to take decisions and just damn the consequence and say, let anything happen, happen. If you check anybody who is successful, they're always like that. They are not too emotional. Yeah, they can tell you sorry after, but they'll take that decision at the spot. And they know how to separate people from the issues. I may not like this person, but I need him to get me this result. So they are not going to beef. They don't beef for long. If you check, so they don't beef for long. Forget how they just beef, but this guy is a useless boy, but don't worry, he will still do this work for me. So that's how they are. So honestly, you need to separate this and get your capital expenditures and get your correct expenditure. But like I said, Christmas is like any other So don't allow it to enter your head. But please, young people should be financially, free. Like some people, I ask them, come, you've been working. I know you've been working here, so place, and all that. What can you show? Like, what is the, let's say, the trophy you have? I mean, you can't be working. I don't know if you get working on and on, and there's nothing to show for it. To some level, you should have accountability. So you should have an accountability partner. One of the biggest accountability partners you have is when you associate with the big, because they will ask you these questions too. But how you see this level now, move, then you will now understand that you need to do better. You understand? So I think that's it. Live your life as size.
Very important.
Do you understand? Don't be competing with people whose income is mega. No. Compete with with investment, not expenditures. Live your life per size per time and enjoy that level. Do you understand? Enjoy that level. I'm just remembering, back then, when I was cities. So, back then in Alakaya then, we stayed in Happy Road then, by bus then. We enjoyed life. You just go to, you know, that Alakaya junction at that level, those fries, buy the akara, buy the yam. As we are walking from there, in that median of the road, you're enjoying yourself, chewing the yam. Live life per size, per time. No pressures. There's no pressure anywhere. Sometimes you just put unnecessary pressure on yourself. You're trying to meet up with who? Who is setting these standards for you? Live the life per size, per time. That's one of the key ways too to be financially prudent. People take loans for things they don't need. They just struggle to meet up with. God, it's very pitiable the way people suffer just to meet up with the trend, like suffer financially. Something happened, and I think that was like 2 years back. I happen to know this person, so I know what he earns. And so, just as I said, look, his daughter's first birthday, he wants to do something big in the estate. I said, okay, what's the budget like? That's like 2.5 times the salary. Okay, what will be the outcome of this thing? People will laugh. My man will be, and all that. Those who would laugh at you will go back. I say, hey, this why these guys feel like I know we're here tomorrow. Say, you ask me for what you understand? So you come to ask, who are you really trying to impress in this case? Nobody to impress, my brother. I sat to also with another person too. It was wedding. She was just, did you know her friend must do this? I see how her friend's wedding went. That's at least pressuring the husband, a young guy that I know, husband. I sat her down and I said, this your friend. The mom is a palm set. By virtue of doing that, just contract us just to be in good terms to send in one or two things. As Palm said, they have their committee of friends. If they will contribute, minimum should be 200K per person. Look at the number of ministries in the states. Even if it's 20, and they bring, even if it's 100,000, they contribute 20 of them. That's two. The hall they will use, maybe one person is trying to curry favor from the mother. She'll give them the hall free. Food, caterer, one person will give them. You may not know all these things. In fact, they made profits from that event. When the big people do events, you think they do it, they use it as an avenue to connect and also make more money. It's like fundraising. When you see big people do event is fundraising for them. Then you, oh God, I don't know. I say you just move like this. You don't want to compete with this person. Don't do it. It's a trap. So sometimes when you see things like this, don't do it. It's normal, it's human. And sometimes you're seeing things like this and you want to push yourself, but pinch yourself and say, come on, come back to default. Come back to the factory setting. And say, this thing, is it what guarantees my happiness? So one of the ways you live your life per side is just be calm. Be joyful at every level you are. Make the best, enjoy the best of that stage. I used to buy shoes that time we were. You know those shoes we used to buy as a graduate? If water touches that shoe, they are gone. No, no, but we'll buy you start to buy 30 naira renew, you know, start the shirts very fine. They will buy Buga shirts. You know those Buga shirts now. You know, this is a hanger like this. Start it fine. No, look good. Wear your crossing bag, you know. Move. Look, you enjoy the level. There's no pressure. At that time, you're just enjoying. You're catching fun. When the new level comes, you move it. Do you know sometimes till now, I still like catch those experiences. I walk with my short. I'll just go to the street and sit with those boys there. We'll just gist. We'll have like coming back to relive those old days. There's nothing there in the life. So just live your life aside and you're not competing with anybody, right? Set your own goals. It's not another person. Sometimes you feel you're not doing well. No, not really. It's because you're measuring your own effort with another person's KPI. So you're setting an unrealistic KPI for yourself. So just be you. Like I said, this thing calls back to having full control of yourself. When you talk self-control, this is it. That oh, if like let this one, let anybody say in came Jika, my own is the biggest. So you're happy with what you have. Another person's own is not entering your eyes in any way. So when you're like that way, you won't spend anyhow because you have what you need and you're thanking God for that. So please live your life per size, per time. Every level, enjoy it. So that when you get to the next level, when you remember back, you don't laugh. You know, sometimes I used to remember how we used to do that. In this Alakaya there, we knew the spots that will give you the best guy, like the biggest size of Garida. You know that okay, if it's for soup, go to this one. If it's for this one, go here. You know, then we'll buy. I know that time we'll buy more and more from Massy, you know, take it with power in the night in the morning so that it will keep you still till night. I enjoyed it, there was no pressure. Enjoy just enjoy the life. So that when you get bigger, when you go back, you just be wondering like how is it? I mean, like we enjoyed ourselves. I'm telling you honestly, we just enjoyed level. What I was just saying is that I just remember as I was just coming, I just was going back to one old picture too. Like I said, which movie that blessing she's outside now. So I just remember I just sat down somewhere like this that glass. I just say life, nothing come out. It's just every stage enjoy the progress, you know. There's nothing to be pressured for. That's what I was just telling you. Live a simple, a very, very simple life and just do your best.
Hey viewers, live your life a time. Very important. If you can write that boldly and put it on your doorpost, live your life a size per time. It's been an awesome section. I mean, I'm blown away. I literally like a lot just going through my mind and things I need to pen down, things I need to put into place and all of that. I believe we're also getting that fire, we're getting that vibe and all of that. We've had an exciting conversation, all thanks to our guest speaker for pouring out himself and teaching us things that at times when we pay 10,000, 20,000, you know, those strategy section that they used to have. And they will start coming in as the year progresses and all of that. So it's this session is one important one and something you need to share to your friends. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and we can't wait to have you again next time. Till then, you have a wonderful week.